All right, so we want to talk about injury prevention, right? Making sure our body functions properly in everything we do. There are 3 things that I want you to focus on no matter what you're doing and walking through space, but particularly while you're working out. I want you to focus on these 3 things. So number 1 is that scapula retraction, keeping those shoulders down, back away from the ears. And so that means squeezing these shoulder blades together, not necessarily popping the chest out because that's gonna flare your rib cage. You wanna maintain the stack, but keeping those shoulders down, back away from the ears, and practicing the scapular retraction will help you to use the proper muscles in everything that you do, whether you're training chest, back, maybe you're doing some kind of squat or front rack, whatever it is, that scapular retraction, first one I want you to focus on. Second one I want you to focus on is the direction of your knees when you're doing really anything, walking, sitting, standing, squatting, lunging. But I want you to make sure those knees do not cross that center line. That's where a lot of injuries, a lot of knee injuries come, is from when that knee caves in, right? So as you're doing a squat, we're gonna push out as we come up to engage the glutes and use the proper muscles instead of those inside thigh muscles that cause that strain on the knees. So scapular retraction, making sure those knees track in the right direction over the second and third. They can drift over the outside of the toes, but in general, we want them to go the same direction as the toes. And then the last thing I'm gonna talk about is that low back stack, right? And so really what this plays into is your hips, but you don't want to have an exaggerated arch in that low back. That's from an anterior tilt. You also don't want to have the hips pointing forward in a posterior tilt where you're clenching the butt cheeks underneath. You want to maintain a nice neutral spine in that low back by keeping neutral hips. So if you focus on these 3 things, you will prevent most injuries in any kind of movement pattern that you're doing. So keeping those scapulas down, back away from the ears, maintaining those knees going in the same direction as the toes, and then maintaining that nice low back stack. Hey, thanks for watching. This was a quick taste of my one-on-one program, but on this channel, we talk about optimizing our existence, and if you're down for that, I'd love to have you along. See you soon.